going to say something that's probably not going to be very popular with the Web3 people. I truly believe that all of this is part of a transitional phase. It might sound completely bonkers to a lot of people, but I am convinced that within, say, 40 years, at the very least, we'll be living in a world where there's no real money. There's no real ownership anymore. Because the idea of ownership and the idea of property is also something that is very recent. And like I told you, humanity has been around for 200,000 years. And for the most part of that time, more than 90% of the time, we didn't have personal property either. Not in the sense that we have it today. Of course, you might be a hunter-gatherer and you might have a necklace or a weapon that you used every day that people knew that was the weapon that you always used. But we lived in communities mostly, and whatever we made was owned by the community, but we didn't even think about that. There was not that concept of I own this and you own that didn't exist like that for the most part of our history. And I think that now we're in a transitional phase where, yes, Web3 will allow us to bring value and ownership and persistent identity and all of that good stuff to the digital realm, because it's essential, because we have that in the physical world today. But ultimately, another few decades from now, there will be such abundance, and this has a lot to do with AI and the exponential development of technology. The abundance will be such that there will be no real reason to think about property in the same way as we do today. And when I say that, I mean, there will be no more lawsuits on copyright or things like that. People will have their own home, and they will expect that other people don't come in their home and sleep in that home, for example. And people will have access to things that they use on a daily basis. But the idea of I own this and you own that, and we can fight over this land or this property, will not be something that I believe exists anymore, because we will come into an age where that's no longer necessary, because the scarcity, which is what has driven this, will be gone.